Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video on the Sierra. So we're on Pete's Sierra today. We're going to do a few bits and pieces. As you can see, if any of you have seen the last video, I've been cracking on. I've got like 90% of the floor out. I absolutely hate drilling spot welds now. I absolutely hate it. It's like a bane of my life. I ended up buying a spot weld drill, a special one off the internet. I should have bought a few more. About £10 each they are, and I'll be honest, I've nearly burnt this one out even using coolants and that. But yeah, absolutely hate drilling spot welds out. But yeah, we're about 90% out. We found some rot in both the chassis rails and express panels. Do panels. I think they're only about 110, 120 quid for a pair. So Pete's ordered the express panels, chassis rail. It's actually a really nice part. It looks like it's going to fit really well. So I'm going to get cracking on, and I'll show you where I am soon. So guys, as you can see, all of the floors out now. I'm going to have to jack the car up and put on axle stands now, because I'm going to start chopping one of the chassis rails out. So let's remove the spoiler. So guys, looks like the spoiler's bonded on, so I'm just going to use some fishing wire that I got off Tyler Gray from work. Nice one, mate. And let's give it a whirl. I've never used this before. Well, that was easy enough, wasn't it? It wasn't bonded on very well. Okay, let's do the sides, eh? She's off. Anyone want to buy a Cosy spoiler? £1,000. So we're all cut out, drilled all the spot welds. I'm going to bring it in a little bit because there's been a repair there, but it's actually quite a good repair, so I'm going to bring it in a little bit. Plus our cut that Pete got is a bit rotten right there, so I'm just going to unpick all these spot welds on this lip. Just cut brush this lip, and then I'll cut straight across there with the grinder, and this section should come out then. I'm hoping. We'll soon find out, won't we? I'm hoping this section will come out. So let's get on with it, and I think I'll have to do just a couple of spot welds on the bottom of that. I think I might have to do them in as well. But let's get on with it, and let's see how it looks. So this is that panel removed. It looks nice and clean behind. So let's get cracking and let's get chopping one of these chassis rails out. So we're all lined up, ready to weld the new railing. Chopped the old rail off, drilled all the spot welds on there, drilled the spot weld on the back. So we're all clamped up at the required height that I want it. There was a previous repair here, but it's actually still quite solid, so I've ground it down so it's nice and clean metal. I always use weld through primer. I use the U-pole weld normally, but I have noticed a lot of people doing this using this copper one, so I might buy a can of that and see what that's like. But yeah, we're all welded up. I put a coat of weld through primer on the inside of both sides. I usually drill my holes about 8mm, so get a good strong spot weld. As you can see, I've got it clamped up there, so it's pulled up nice and tight and clamped in tight and clamped over there. So yeah, I'll start the welder up, and I'll bang some plug welds in this now, and then we'll go from there, eh? So spot welded on the back, gave it a little seam weld on the inside of this panel. Extra strength, look, it's absolutely solid. Plug welded on the bottom, plug welded on the other side, and then banged a little seam across the bottom there. Little seam weld, just to give it some extra strength. Look at that, looks sweet. Dressed up some of the plug welds. We grind it and my belt sander. Belt sander is one of the best tools I've got. And then we come around to this one. Oh my God. So drilled the spot welds on the back, and then we got this horrible repair here. I'm gonna have to chop this out and redo it, I think. So we're just trimming all this back now. These express panels are really good, but I guess where the Sierra rots out is between the repair panel and the original bit of chassis. So you kind of need to the repair panel's not the right part, if you know what I mean, not the right bit that you need. So we'll get cracking on. I'm going to stop soon. This will be probably the end of the day, I reckon. I'll just clean up here a bit, hoover up all the inside, and then we'll get this in this leg and all the outside of this in red oxide primer, just to stop it from rusting. So end of today. Look at the state of my face. I have the first time I've just seen it. End of the day. I'm done for today. New chassis rail. One of the new chassis rails is welded in, cleaned up, and I put in red oxide primer. I've painted all on the inside of the leg as well, all around the outside, and I've started painting all there and all here, ready to put the floor in. I've started chopping the driver's side chassis rail out as well, so that's the passenger side all in, all nice, dressed up all the welds, and I'm very pleased with how it's turned out. Actually, it looks really smart. I'll bang some pictures on now. Yeah, so we'll get back onto the driver's side one probably next week sometime, because I'm dropping my Sierra Cosworth off at PJ's tomorrow. And then I've got to go back to work. Oh, the horrible thing about it, I've got to go back to work and actually earn real money. So yeah, go back to work, and then I will be back on it next week. I'm getting there now. I've got a kind of idea. Quick query. Any of you guys who have actually done this sort of thing, does the boot floor, does the back panel have to be cut out? You know, where the headlight, where the backlights are, to put the boot floor in, or what? Because I've tried to get the boot floor in a few times, and I can't fit it through the orifice of the boot, if you get me drift, because the boot floor is quite wide, isn't it? So, any of you's got an idea? Otherwise, I'm going to have to start trimming, I think, or maybe, I was thinking maybe ratchet strapping it, so it's narrower. I'm about 40mm off. So I might end up bending it a bit, but I don't know. I have to think. It's quite hard to do because it's quite a heavy panel. It's a bit cumbersome and that on my own. But let's get the other rail in. Let's get it where I want it to be, and then we will start. I might drop the back axle off actually before I weld it in. I definitely need to take the driver's side wheel off. When Pete dropped this off, it had lock and wheel nuts on, and he didn't have the lock and wheel nut key, which is great. That is awesome. Thank you very much, Pete, if you are watching this. So yeah, I borrowed a lock and wheel nut tool kit off a friend. Pete actually dropped it off because I sorted it out with John, a lad we hang around with, John Mitchell, a nice mechanic lad. And guess what? That didn't work either. So I've ended up having to ruthlessly hammer a 14mm impact socket on there, and got it off in the end. Absolutely wellied the hell out of one of my sockets, so kind of ruined the socket, but hopefully it's alive enough to be able to do all the other lock and wheel nuts. But yeah, that's awesome. That's one of my bane in my life, is when I ever do any work on it, when people haven't got the lock and wheel nut key, or they don't leave it out. Absolutely wrecks my head. I bet you all the lads in the motor trade feel exactly the same. So alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you soon. You take it easy, and stay tuned for another update, hopefully next week sometime. Laters.
All you roaches, please like and subscribe.